you envision your dream where you want to be, and then your subconscious will take over. If you really put the effort, your subconscious will do the rest. Always look up to meet new friends. You know, I mean, if you find somebody that's had a successful business for 20 years, you like that business, find 3 other guys like him, and now you got 60 years worth of experience and you're still in your 20s. I love challenging myself, so make sure you challenge yourself. Always have goals bigger than your dreams, but also be practical with your short-term goals.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
I always knew like anything I'm doing early on is a stepping stone. You know, with that mentality, I had a much bigger picture in my mind. You know, I wanted to be a multimillionaire. I wanted to own a bunch of exotic cars, a big mansion. As a matter of fact, at age 15 or 16, I have to go find a picture. I drew a mansion with some palm trees in front of it and 2 Mercedes. Back then, I didn't know what the Ferrari is or Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I knew Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
So I drew 2 convertible Mercedes with palm trees. And I have to find that. It's somewhere in my attic, probably.
That is unbelievable.
But so, you know, you envision your dream where you want to be, and then your subconscious will take over. If you really put the effort, your subconscious will do the rest.
It will figure out the how.
Yeah, it's kind of like pouring water on top of the mountain. It'll find a way to get down, right? It may go straight, it may go turn left.
But you got to pour the water.
You got to pour the water.
And most people don't, huh?
And to pour the water, you got to climb the mountain.
We both started hustling as entrepreneurs or trying to do something very young. And there's this thing on social media today. It's like, hey, don't worry about your 20s or your teens. You know, you'll get around to it. And you may need to have patience those years, but you should be after it. Don't you agree with that?
100%. 100%. I think, you know, what builds you, your mentality, your mindset, when you do that in your early teens or 20s, is a lot different than when you're 40 and 50 trying to do that. It's very, what do they call it? It's very tough to teach a dog new habits.
Yeah, right, an old dog, new tricks.
Yeah, new tricks. So because, you know, your mentality is built, developed, and then it's very difficult to change that at age 40, 50.
It is.
So it's very important early on, you know, to try to challenge yourself. You know, be like a sponge, you know, always look up to meet new friends. You know, I mean, if you find somebody that's had a successful business for 20 years, you like that business, find 3 other guys like him, and now you got 60 years worth of experience and you're still in your 20s.
I'm successful, you know, some jobs now all of a sudden are beneath us. You know what I mean? And that's never been you.
No, and it shouldn't be for anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur, a business owner. You gotta do everything from, you know, first of all, you gain the respect of all your employees.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
100%.
They see the boss is doing, you know, anything in the company, right? And then second of all, it keeps you humble because, you know, the worst thing you want to get is become egotistic to a point where your ego takes the best of you.
So true.
And I've seen so many people fail.
So true.
Because they become so big and then all of a sudden they think they're too big to fail, this, that, and then next thing you know, things change and then they're stuck into that.
So true.
Yeah.
Your goal the whole time is like millions. I got to become a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
From day
that
one.
Mansion, palm trees, and those convertible cars.
That's wow. And
always been.
Would you say your home now is very similar to what you drew back then?
Very much. I have 11 palm trees in the house. King palm trees. It's double lot, huge curb appeal. And when you park those cars in front, it's just like that picture.
I love that.
Yeah.
Then let me ask you this. Were you writing down affirmations? I mean, were you visualizing yourself? Were you writing down the goals? I mean, what did you do to ingrain it? Or was it just a mental thing that you
It was all mental. I mean, although, you know, the past 10 years, I've been writing my goals every day, you know, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. My goals, I actually have a spreadsheet I made 25 years ago of how much I'm going to be worth by the time I'm 67. I put all these numbers in there. You know, if I make 10% a year, but this one house I have, I sell it, I buy 2 houses, and I use this formula, and it was really interesting. It's called the aftermath. And then there's another one, it's called actual aftermath. And I haven't done it for a few years, but for every year on January, I used to compare my actual aftermath with the aftermath I did many years ago to see if I'm on the right track.
Wow, that's incredible.
So, you know, you have to keep your mind to stay on the right path. You have to constantly write your goals. You have to have some kind of, you know, barometer
GPS.
guide. Exactly. Yeah.
You started the hustle at about 16, did you not? How old were
About
you?
14.
14. We'll go back. So what were you doing at 14?
So we moved to the 2-bedroom apartment, and then every time I took the trash out, I realized people leave stuff by the trash can. I'm like, why is this thing next to a dumpster? You know, it's a nice chair and a table or a toaster. So I figured, hey, they probably bought a new one. They don't want it. So I would, haul those back to my patio.
You're kidding me.
No. And then by the weekend, we've had a full patio worth of furniture. And we got a swap meet. We rented a space at swap meet across the street, which was Orange Coast College. And we started with one space, and then it turned out to be 3 spaces. I expanded my business. I was 14.
At 14?
Yeah. So I used to get up early in the morning, like 4 in the morning, and go to all the dumpsters and pick up stuff. I started with my own apartment complex where we used to rent.
Yeah.
And then I realized, hey, why don't we go over there, walk over to the next complex. And then, hey, I was making, $1,000 a month at 14 to 16 because I didn't have a work permit yet. So that was my first business, it's cost of goods is free, right? So you pick up stuff and then sell at swap meet. The space, I think, was $10 a space to rent, so it's nothing. While I was trying to sell my supermarket, because everybody told me, file bankruptcy, you're losing your ass every month, and you've borrowed money. I had borrowed money from family, friends, my credit cards, 180 grand on my credit cards, paying 22% interest rate. Yeah, I was paying $4,000 a month interest, give or take, per month. And I didn't have money. I was just borrowing to just keep it, stay alive.
Going,
yeah. Everybody says, file bankruptcy, you rebuild your credit within 3 to 5 years. I'm like, no, this country is built on credit.
Yeah.
I learned early on, that, if you learn the system, use the system, and it's all credit based, And it's all about, using your credit to leverage, business opportunities. So if I file bankruptcy, I'm dead for 7 years, and and on top of that, it's a failure, I can't accept failure, It's okay to, close a business and go on a better opportunity. To me, that's not a failure. But to give up.
Yeah, to give up. For like 7 years, basically.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's basically like death,
Yeah.
I was always looking at the newspaper, looking for opportunities. And I came across this ad, is what Worldwide Industries was the name of the WWI. And it said, earn $1,000 a week. I'm like, wow, that's, a lot more than I'm making. And I called them up. They said, yeah, it's a multi-level marketing. We sell knife sets, nuts, this, that. So I went for an interview. They hired me. And I worked there for 3 years selling nuts.
How old were you at that time?
I was 17 and a half.
So 17 to age 20?
Yeah, I worked for Kmart for 1.5 years. And then I went to WWI selling nuts. After 3 months, I was their top salesman.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your strategy?
A strategy? Nothing. I was friendly with everybody,
So you would knock on doors, or what was?
It was businesses. So we would take a basket of nuts and go to like auto dealerships, and you got all these secretaries sitting around, salespeople. They got nothing to do. They're waiting for customers to come in so they can pound on it. So they love jelly beans, toffees, jujubes, pistachios, cashews, almonds.
To kill time, kind of.
Yeah, everybody likes that. So I would walk in there and say, hey, I got these fresh, nuts, and chit chat with them. Hey, have you tried these? I'll make you a deal. If you buy 3, I'll give it to you for $10. They're usually $5 each. So I give you $5 off. And then I would, people would gather, as soon as I walk in, they'll check, hey, what do you have? Yeah, I'll take 3 of this. Or next time I sell $150, in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Walk out until the general manager would show up. Yeah, it was rough though. One time I was at, I think it was Pomona Auto Center. It was at a Toyota dealership, if I'm not mistaken. The GM was a real asshole. He knew every week I come, and then he caught me right when I walked in front of everybody, and he chewed my butt. Yeah. Get out of there, you camera rider, you.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, back then, discrimination was obviously much more than now. But so anyhow, so after 3 months, I was top salesman. I was making like, 2,000 or 3,000 a month. And I went to Costco with my dad to do some grocery shopping. And then while I was passing by, I saw the nut aisle. I'm like, hey, I did quick math. I'm like, they're selling 5 pounds of pistachio for, $5, and WWI is selling it to me for $10, So I'm like, that's double the cost. So I said, why don't I buy it myself? I already have all my roots and customers,
And make a bigger profit. Yeah.
So I looked into Yellow Pages looking for polyester bags and a sealer. So I found it. I bought it. I think I spent $180 on the sealant and some polyester bags, and then I used my dad's PC to print the labels, and I started my own business. I was 18. See self-improvements, not even just with cars, with your own body. When you go work out, do you feel better when you come out of the gym all pumped up, or you feel better when you haven't worked out for a month?
Yeah.
Of course, when you go to the gym,
Yep.
you're building your, something happens when you see changes in your body with your assets, when you see even gaining a good friend. I have my down days, I'm sure you do too. We're all
course.
human,
Yep.
You could have all the money in the world, you're still gonna have a bad day,
absolutely.
You don't know what's gonna cause it, but you do. And for me, working out is great. I have a personal trainer 3 times a week. And then when I don't have my personal trainer, I just get out of bed and drop on the floor and do 20 push-ups, 30 push-ups. I do it until I can't do it anymore. And then I hit the shower and I feel great,
Yeah.
And it's, it's just keeping the fluids going, your mind fresh.
Yeah.
Because workout not just improves your physics, it also helps your mind.
Agreed.
And sometimes it helps your mentality more than your physique, but people don't realize it, It helps you focus.
Started off in a car. Your family had nothing when it came to this country. Nothing. And so you must have made some mistakes along the way. How'd you deal with everything that has happened?
Well, of course I made mistakes. I mean, I'm human. I trusted people too easily. I got conned. At age 20, I lost all my life saving to a con artist that promised me to buy me a gas station. But through it all, as when it comes to friends and colleagues, you have to take it as a lesson and move on. You can't let that bury you. You have to move on. And as far as ventures, I've learned to diversify and not have all your eggs in one basket. It's been great, but it was hard. It's been hard, and it wasn't easy getting here. The first 20 years, I would say, it was like hell.
Love life. Life is great. I love challenging myself. So make sure you challenge yourself. Always have goals bigger than your dreams, but also be practical with your short-term goals. So challenge yourself, get out of bed and do something productive. Even if you're not making money, it's a habit that most successful people carry. They're productive. Doesn't matter if you make money or not. You're productive, you have a purpose when you get up every day.